Hey, man, want to take over the world? Oh, yeah, man, sure. Oh, wait. Who is that? Is that a young boy? Oh, no, this is our group's only weakness. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what's gonna, oh. Thanks, Grunt. Thanks. What's going on, guys? It's Joe. So ever since we saw the new region, I've been wondering for myself, what will the villains be like in this game? Of course, we've always had an antagonistic team in every single game in the past, and this game will most likely have one as well, but how will they act, what will they look like, and what will be their motives? Well, of course, I don't have any direct answers to these questions, but I thought it'd be really fun to speculate on these questions based on the past teams. Of course, the knowledge we have of the region right now, and the legendaries, kind of just guess what's going to end up happening in this new region. But let's get to the actual speculating. Now, for this new team, I hope that Game Freak may decide to make the villains more like the 4th gen villains, Team Galactic, than the 6th gen villains, Team Flare. And by that I mean that I want an opposing team that drives the player to do bigger and better things, rather than having a villain team like Team Flare that's kind of just there at random times, because Pokemon games, of course, need that evil villain. At the same time, though, I don't really want the new evil team to be as much in your face as the 5th gen Team Plasma. That was a little bit too much. The new team, I feel like, in my opinion, should be a really good driving force of the plot, but not the entire or the whole plot of the entire game. Essentially, just make them show up about half-ish of the gyms, after half-ish of the gyms, and have a point where you kind of break their plans of taking a legendary or whatever, like most of previous games, and that'll pretty much do. I hope that they'll show up over the course of the game also, and won't just have one huge part where you fight an entire dungeon of them, and then they disappear forever, which seems to be happening in quite a the last few games. However it works though, this game needs a good balance of the presence of the team and plot other than the villains in order to make a really good game. As for the designs of the characters, the really juicy part of the villain teams, I'm wishing that Nintendo makes the grunts look kind of like Team Rocket grunts, very basic and a very grunt looking type person, but have leaders like the Team Flare leaders. Essentially, many extravagant leaders that look really awesome with not as cool grunts that just will make the leaders look even cooler by comparison. Now to the costumes, I can see the games going, both games had the same villain, like, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th gen, and if this happened, I reckon that they would be kind of galaxy based because of course, the galaxy looking faces on the legendaries that were shown. We could see a purple/black or a white and silver, maybe a mix of all those for the colors of this one team, and I feel like that would work pretty well. This would probably be good enough to fit both the legendaries, and I don't really feel like we need something where we have a sun team and a moon team by itself. That feels a little bit too much. Now, for the motives, hopefully we get a more simple reason for their actions, such as just simply wanting to control the island's wealth, or wanting to put all the political power in their own hands. I don't really want something like the last two games where, they have these really huge plans that just aren't really what you do in real life if you were a bad person. I'd rather have them be more kind of realistic, even though I know it's a video game. I would just really like some strong villains with more reasonable/normal villain goals, and just go back to a more simple, overarching antagonist plot with maybe some more interesting subplots on certain exact villains instead of the entire organization. And that's all I'm going to say about this topic. Now, personally, I've always been a huge fan of the villains in these games, and so for me, this is one of the most exciting things to talk about in the new game. Hopefully you still enjoyed these thoughts by me, even though maybe not everyone really cares about the villains. Anyways though, please leave me what you think will happen in the new game down below, what you'd really like to happen, and thank you all for the support shown in the last video. It's a lot more than I expected from this type of video, and I'm hoping to do more of these in the future. I know that this is a lot different, but just really glad to see that support. Anyways, smell you later, guys.